So now we're in the corn, and this is again is the split of 205.99 and 207.13. So as you can see, we have a little bit more stay green. I think that first spot that I was at in the field, just and those being earlier corns, just matured a little bit quicker. But as you can see here, a lot of our leaves are dropping. We still do have some that are upright here for 205.99. When I look at gray leaf, 205.99 is going to be a little bit healthier than what I see with 207.13. 207.13 is ranked as a 5 on gray leaf, but this year we've actually seen it handle it pretty well. So just something to keep in mind as we are placing this product, but I'm not too overly concerned with it. So here's some ears of 205.99 out in the field. 205.99 definitely seems to be a lover of nitrogen, and so I think that it's going to do extremely well in some more of those side dress situations. I am going to recommend to kind of keep this placement on a little bit better soil types. I have seen it have some zippering and just more grain problems. I guess I'll say some zippering and kind of some of this poor pollination on the back side of ears when we get in some sandier soil types. So I think a higher yield environment on some of those good water holding capacity soils is 205.99 is going to do really well. Something else I've seen with this number is that it's performed extremely well as we move north in Indiana. And so those of you who work with Troy, Wes Ritchie, Gideon, and Dave Fear, this product has done well, especially as we continue to move north even towards the Michigan line. So again, we see that great tip fill that I showed you earlier. 207.13. So here's some of those ears. We have good tip fill here as well. A little bit prettier ear in my opinion, and so I think that we're going to have a lot higher test weight and quite a bit bigger kernels that we're going to find on 207.13. Stalk quality and roots still very intact. Still have some good green down in the stalk. Is going to combine very nicely. So I've had the question, is 207.13 going to be a good option for corn on corn? And it doesn't scare me. I think that we may want to watch a little bit if we've had really extremely high levels of disease. But if a guy's working his ground, conventional tilling his corn on corn, which I assume they are, and we're side dressing or putting on ample nitrogen, I think this corn is going to do fine. So I'm now in the split of 209.77 and 209.85. And so in this particular location, 209.85 seems to be just a little bit of a taller plant type. Leaf structure, so I think 77 is actually a little bit more upright than 209.85 is going to be. 209.85 may be just a little bit more conventional. And so let's take a look at 209.77 here first. So 209.77 has those classical, very broad-shouldered kernels. It will tend to kind of hide its yield because of that a little bit. So as you can see, this is actually going to rank it as a 4 on cob color. Just a red, not a dark red, but really good sized kernel. Pretty good average to high test weight on this product. Good dry down. Has been a stable product for us for a long time and will continue to be so. The root structure on this, as you can see, 209.77 did do a good job of sending those roots down to get water. We did have quite a bit of stress at this particular location. Rainfall amounts were pretty low, and I will make sure that I send some weather data for this location along with this presentation. So now over to 209.85. A little bit darker yellow kernels. The cob color on the Flipton, it is a very dark red. Kernels, I'd say, really are just about the same size that we have on 209.77. Pretty big, broad-shouldered kernels again. I think it's going to be a dog race all year long to see which hybrid comes out on top between 209.85 and 209.77. 209.85 is going to have, seems to have a little bit more girth than 77 has, whereas 77 may have just a little bit more length. Root structure is just massive underneath of 209.85, has been very impressive. I did notice early on that 20985 set nodal roots extremely early in the season, really just as quick, if not quicker, than some of the early season 20232 and 20599. So early season roots on this product are excellent. So now we are in the field, and on my left is 20977 and on my right is 20985. As we look up in the upper canopy, 20985 is showing better health, better disease resistance than 20977 is. So I do think that we pick up some things agronomically there with 20985. Both products are still standing very well. The stalks are still very intact and are holding together very nicely. 20977, so again, just kind of getting a look at some of these ears. We've got pretty good consistency. Ear height is right about the same level as 20985. So here's some 20985. Still very upright and erect ear. Husk structure on both of these, they both stay pretty tightly wrapped. Actually are pretty closed husk, and so you can see that there on 20985, and then you can again see it here on 20977. So we don't have a whole lot of opening going up, which that can be a good thing. May hold a little moisture, but it does protect us and keep us from picking up some of those ear molds that we've discussed. I'm very excited about 20985. I think it's gonna be another great fit in that 109-day option. So we're gonna have to take a look at 21057 here by itself. It has two competitors side by side it, but we'll just take a look at 21057 for time's sake. Cob color on this one, I'm gonna rank it a 4, and so it's just kind of a very true red cob. Kernels, not extremely deep, but we do have some good width to the kernels of 21057. Just a pretty average grain quality corn. Come down here and look at some of the roots on 21057. This is one thing that I have been impressed with 21057 over time is the root ball that it puts on underneath of it continues to impress. So again, we have some good vertical downward growth. That is one reason why I have seen this product hold together pretty nicely on lighter colored soils and some of those low organic matter sands. I think it is a good fit in that situation. We do want to keep our population up on this hybrid, so keep that in mind when we are placing it, that we want to keep it probably for sure above 32,000 because of the more determinate ear type. This is the leaf canopy of 21057. Leaf disease wise, very healthy product. Looks excellent. Ear set is quite a bit higher on 21057, so if you can see down the rows here than what we just came from, higher than 20977 and 20985 at this location. So not the most showy ears of all, but it is gonna, like I said, when we have our population up there and lots of them, this corn stays extremely consistent. Good late season intactness, good option for a later harvest, has very good standability. The only issue that I have had with standability on this has been kind of over in a couple places in really kind of north central Indiana, but just where it got extremely stressed, it did cannibalize just a little bit last year. Have not seen that yet this year, and so we'll see if that holds up, but otherwise this has been a very good stander.